thistles. They are no use to the farmer, who hates to see them on his land and tries to get rid of them. But they still continue to flourish because they are so well armed for the battle of life. For instance, here is a common kind of thistle, the spear thistle. The end of every leaf is like a spear in shape. There is no chance of this plant being killed off by animals eating it or stepping on it, for it is far too well protected. The leaves are not only prickly, but they are covered with hairs as well. The microscope shows that the hairs are sharply pointed and they make an extra protection for the plant. Higher magnification shows that the hairs are made up of cells full of a living substance that is always moving. Not only are the thistle leaves well protected, the flower head is covered with prickles as well. As the head gradually opens, you can see how it is made up of a great number of little flowers or florets, all grouped together to make a mass of color. If we fade out the flower head, one single floret is left on the screen. It is too insignificant by itself for any insect to notice, but massed together the florets attract the attention of a hungry bee. Here is the tip of a floret, and we see the stigma pushing out pollen which has been formed inside. The pollen gets onto the legs of a bee that visits the flower head for nectar. We'll hold the picture still for you to see what a long tongue the bee has to reach down to the base of the thistle floret where the nectar is stored. When the floret is a little older, the stigma divides into two. Another bee visits the flower head. It probably brings pollen on its body from a different thistle. As it moves about, it leaves a grain of pollen on the open stigma. Here is the pollen grain. Puts out a tube which grows down the flower. It goes past the thistledown, neatly folded on each side, and finally joins with an ovule in the ovary at the base of the flower. This ovule now ripens into a fruit. While this is happening, the flowers have faded away and the thistledown is growing. Each piece of down is still attached to a fruit. And as the down grows away from the flower head, it pulls the fruit with it. Here is a close view of a piece of down attached to a fruit. The fruit has a knob at the end. This knob fits exactly into an elastic ring in the middle of the thistledown. When the weather is warm and dry, the down breaks away from the dead flower head and is blown far and wide by the breeze. The elastic ring tightens on the fruit until it squeezes it out. You can see the fruits fall if you look. In case you weren't quick enough, here's one you can't miss. On the ground in warm and moist weather, the seed will begin to grow in about a day. The stem reaches upwards using the fruit case as a kind of battering ram which it finally throws off once it is well above the ground. Underneath are two leaves which open and reveal the young plant between them. Each night they close round the young thistle, and each day they open. Day, night. Day, night. While it is growing above ground, the root is boring its way into the soil below and developing root hairs with which it draws food from the earth. Nourished in this way, the young thistle grows very strongly, covered with prickles and well protected. At this stage, the careful farmer cuts thistles down. If this plant is allowed to grow and flower, the downy seeds will blow away and produce hundreds more thistles that will cover the farmer's fields. The only way for men to protect themselves against their enemies, the spear thistles, is to cut them down and keep on cutting.